Sonic Underground Episode 13. Come out wherever you are. The blonde rich snob thanks Robotnik for lending him the royal palace for the yearly ball, which we're actually going to see later. And Robotnik says it's excellent that the invitations have been sent, but of course he just wants a trap to be sent. Then Sonia remembers when she was in the ball, at least that's what I'm assuming is happening, and pictures herself in a dress going to it with the rich snob. Then Sonic tells her Cyrus wants to see them. Oh, he'll come back, but not the cyborg. Oh no! Sonic drives their vehicle to a base. Shouldn't we have seen where we got the vehicle? It shows up in so many episodes. It should be important. And Sonic guesses that Sonia's upset about the ball paper in her hand. And somehow she doesn't notice that she lost it and hear what her siblings are saying, when I assumed she would. Cyrus shows them Robotnik's future weapon, and apparently he'll have an indestructible brain in a plane, and the brain can transform the plane into a living creature with an impenetrable skin called the Predator, which is meant to detect everyone from above and capture the rebels. Cyrus says they can plant something on the ship before they can install the brain, and then the heroes will control the Predator. I'll just pretend Cyrus is a brilliant engineer and that's why he has that device. If he is, then all the better. The more complicated the heroes' plans get, the harder it is for me to type all of it out. Robotnik wastes time saying that he'll roboticize the bounty hunters if they fail, when he won't anyways, so it just makes him look like an idiot. And Sleet tells Dingo it could be an improvement for him to be roboticized. Sonia will set explosives, and when she'll be gone afterwards, Sonic will do his thing, and Manic will distract them so they can escape. When they're saying such complex things for such a long time, it's really hard to type them all down. It's not like it's a comic and I can read it for all I want. So I completely missed what Sonic's part of the plan was.
I tunnel under here and slap the thingamajiggy on the ship.
After Sonia completely wastes my time daydreaming about being in a ball with a snob, then her daydream has her snob turn into one of the robots that capture her. Is her entire purpose in the show gonna be getting kidnapped? Ugh! And she can tornado just like him. The only difference is that she's a girl. Sleek calls her Sophie, and Sonic conveniently shows up just in time, knowing exactly where Sonia was taken, spin dashing through the floor and making Sleek fall into it. So did the bond between the siblings work and his medallion told him where to go? Sonia plays a keyboard with evil organ music to summon a pink smoke shield. And for some reason the robots walking towards her explode. Even though it's just pink smoke. Sonic dodges lasers from robots that blow them up. He uses his medallion to run up the metal thing, and with the transformed Dingo around, Sonia puts something down, which is probably Cyrus's device. Dingo grabs her with tentacles, putting her in danger again, and she's reminding me of when Sally was grabbed by an octopus robot in the Sally miniseries. And after Sonic does something, she spins around like a tornado and spins Dingo around, smacking him to the wall. Good, but she shouldn't have been able to spin like that. Sonic says the popsicle stand is about to blow and takes her away with him. Dingo escapes in a panic and we see Manic in front of a laser shooter. I guess Cyrus made that too. Sonic says they succeeded. It's pretty early in the episode for them to succeed at their final plan though, isn't it? Well, they haven't controlled the plane yet. Sleet tells Robotnik the composite protected the brain and they're installing the brain in 10 minutes. They should have had the scene since it just confused me into thinking the heroes failed. Sonic satisfyingly calls Sonia out on getting kidnapped.
Okay, what the heck happened to you last night?
What?
How did those bots get their mitts on you?
She then starts crying and runs away, saying he wouldn't understand, and he wouldn't because he didn't used to be rich or have a remotely normal and relatable life. Then Sonic, in an obvious mustache disguise out of nowhere, shows up to the rich snob with a leaf blower, inconveniencing him. Oh, good! Barnaby recognizes him when he sees his face, but he should have recognized him faster. He has blue spines! The ball is about the day the girls are officially introduced to society. He's not saying how old the girls will be to go to that ball though. So much for telling me how old Sonia is. And Sonic admits that he wants Sonia to be happy, being reluctant to do so at first. I like that Bartleby is being used as a good person again. He tells Robotnik he wants a masked ball with masks. Oh, he wants a mask ball, not a masked one. I thought like he was talking about not just the rich can come to the ball. And Robotnik immediately figures out that he thinks he can hide Sonia behind a mask. That's a little too easy for Robotnik, isn't it? How could he ever figure that out? I mean, Sonia is a rebel. You'd think he would assume that she was too busy to go to a ball, and that she would be recognized if she went to the ball. Sonia wells up with tears and hugs Sonic for doing all that for her. After a pointless song, Cyrus says it'll be hard to hijack the plane and take the passengers to safety. He tells Sonic he has to fly carefully in the training mission because he has passengers on board. He's sitting in a chair that's spinning around, and we briefly see the plane move too, and Sonic says that the passengers will have seatbelts anyways. We see a plane flying through a laser field, and the plane lands, and Cyrus says that the training mission failed because there was too many casualties, and it did with Manic too. So it really is just a simulation test. It's a video game. So why can't they just fly the plane as high as possible to avoid the lasers? The lasers aren't being fired that high up. Sonia is told that she'll be their pilot, and she's told the Predator will return tomorrow night. Sonic says there's a secret passageway, so she could go to the ball and hunt the Predator. I didn't know there was a secret passageway. That came out of nowhere. We see the ball, and Sonic looks through a hole in the eyes of a painting to see Sonia, who's going to the ball with Bartleby. Surprisingly, Robotnik doesn't immediately say that he recognizes Sonia and have her grabbed. Idiot. Sonia gives someone a note so he can announce her presence. I love how naturally he's scared that he'll get in trouble by announcing this, since she's a rebel. Sonia wonders if it was her mother who paralyzed the robots. Sonic then rushes her out of the ball, so she doesn't mind at all that she got totally cheated out of the ball, apparently. She goes into the pilot. She goes to become a pilot, and because bullshit, Sleet thinks Manic is Sonia just because he's in a dress when he's clearly green. I'm not sure if we needed that moment to be in there. Robotnik orders the plane to be shot down since it was taken over by someone. The plane is landed safely, and then Dingo and a bunch of robots think that Sonic is Sonia. This isn't funny! This is extremely stupid! Sonic then spins in a tornado to send Dingo at Sleet. Neither of them needed to disguise themselves as Sonia. Nobody would fall for it. That's why forced comedy sucks. It's just adding bad writing. Then Sonia gets a note from her mother saying she's proud of her because she wore that dress at her debutante ball. And the siblings hug each other. Okay, so the whole thing Sonia was doing as the pilot was landing the plane that's full of kidnapped passengers we unfortunately don't get to see, and she has to avoid lasers to do so. I guess Sleet never noticed that the so-called brain they were installing was just a tool of the heroes to let Sonia take over the plane. I was really confused when he said their mission was a success, and the brain hasn't been damaged at all. They shouldn't have shown that scene with Robotnik and him then, it was just padding. Again, I guess Cyrus made this device. Is he the rotor of this show from now on? He better be. And while it makes sense that Sonia would be daydreaming about the possibility of going to a ball like a normal rich girl, I think she'd still be able to see while she was doing so, and her instincts about danger would warn her that she was looking at robots. If she can escape Dingo's tentacles with a spin that she shouldn't physically be able to do, she shouldn't have gotten kidnapped so easily, especially since all it did was waste Sonic's time having to save her. I loved that he called her out on her moment of uselessness, but then they tried to make us feel bad for her afterwards. So it's good that the two had a sweet moment because Sonic got Sonia in the ball. But then out of nowhere, she doesn't dance at the ball and instead immediately gives herself away to leave with her siblings. I guess all she wanted was to be announced at the ball, so she technically counted as being there. But she didn't dance, and we never see her dance in Reality Land. It would have worked better if Robotnik told her he recognized her right away and sent robots after her, since he did recognize her, since he magically knew that Barnold was sneaking her into the ball out of nowhere. She shouldn't have been satisfied with a ball like this where she didn't get to do anything, and her mother had to come save her ass, because she knew that she'd be at the ball out of nowhere when she's part of an underground rebel group that should be busy destroying SWATbot factories. Maybe she came there in the hopes that she might be there because Sonia's rich person connection and Sonic would do it. But that's thinking ahead for her, making a blind assumption just so she'd be there as a Deus Ex Machina. I don't think Sonia needed saving. She could have spun into the robots herself. Her mother shows up, and it just makes me frustrated that she doesn't come and talk to her. I like this episode. It reminded us of the reality that Sonia misses her whole life, being about a character's character, which is not something you really see in the other Sonic shows for some reason. But I really hated that Manic and Sonic were mistaken for Sonia. That didn't need to happen. That wasn't funny. That was treating me like a blind idiot. I loved that Cyrus was helping out. That was cool. I never thought I'd see him again, let alone as a freedom fighter. It's just weird. Robotnik was too smart, Sonia and the bounty hunters and robots were too stupid, and really I don't think anything was added by Robotnik always assuming that Sonia would be snuck into the ball, because he only sent robots after her after she announced herself anyways, and I assumed that he always had a yearly ball. But apparently it was a trap for Sonia all along.